My beautiful sister.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hi, love. How are you?
I am feeling great, actually. I've had a good day. I've had a good week. It has flown by. Finished a performance in Chicago, so I just feel like I'm on top of the world a little bit.
Gosh, yeah,
Yeah,
we've been busy. You've been busy.
very, very.
We
No, and
haven't.
I appreciate it.
We need always a break. I always am adamant about a break, and I'm like, we haven't been in front of a camera in a couple of months now. The summer
Yeah,
has went by. We've had a summer, and I'm like,
full one. I'm very
no,
pleased with it.
yeah, you've I've been seeing you, sister, and I want to give you your flowers. My y'all sister's been on a tour since we've been on our break. She's been eating the girls up. And look at the art
Naked
in the
every
back.
chance I get. Oh yeah, hold
Okay.
on. Get into that.
Look at
That was
that.
for my that was for my 30th birthday.
You're 30. Y'all, she's with me.
30,
She's with me.
30,
I
you
have to
know?
remind the girls, even though you turned in December,
Yeah,
I have to tell you that you're officially in the 30 crew.
yeah. I am, and I have so much to show for it, so that feels good.
Yes. Well, I want to say welcome back to our listeners.
Hey,
We have
y'all.
been we've been away for a couple of months, but we always are going to come back like we always do. And we are super excited to get back into the podcast with everybody, chit chat and things of that nature. But we always just got to say thank you all so much. But let's get into this introduction. What is up, everybody? It is your boy, Lord Jeffrey.
And I'm Derwin King.
And welcome back to That Black Boy Joy, where we create, maintain, and hold space for black and brown boys to be themselves. And
So much more.
girl, we are on like our 10th season
Yeah, I know
of
we've
the
been doing this shit
podcast.
for a really long time. We've been doing this for a long time.
I'm like, when I was going through the notes and I was like looking at like our past, I was like, we've made it to 10 seasons. We've been doing this
Yeah,
since 2019. And
yeah.
every time we come back, it always ceases to amaze me that we are always like there. So I started this in 2019 and to see it now in 2025, we are now in our 30s. We were like in our mid 20s,
My
early
God,
20s for
today.
you.
My
Look,
God,
early 20s.
today. I was 24. I was 24.
Yeah. And to see now that we are up there, girl. We are the uncles. You know that, right? We're the gunkles. We're the uncles now.
Thankfully, we've been oh my God, we literally are too. Like, you have a niece, I have two. This is
Yes.
something.
Yeah, and I think there's been a lot of change with us through this time and also with this time away. So I'm super excited to be back in the podcast and be back in front of our listeners and each other and really just talk about what's been going on with us because of course these past couple of months have been a whirlwind just politically,
Oh
personally,
Lord.
emotionally.
Oh my God. I just remember we had a whole episode after the election and we were like, what the hell are we gonna do now? And it's like seeing all of that come into where we are just what was that, 9 months ago,
Yeah.
is insane.
Yeah, a lot has changed. We have like new perspectives about it all. So we are
Donald
super
Trump gave
excited.
birth to fascism.
Girl, did he give birth? Or has he
Well,
oh has it been there?
it was already in the making.
It was already in the making, and we just gave this white man the opportunity to show his ass like he told y'all he would. Like he told y'all he would.
Yeah,
But
it's no
enough about his
surprise.
white ass.
Thank you.
We want to get into our podcast. We want to get into the theme of this season, the theme of what we are going through in our lives right now. And I think this is like really special to us. So our theme for this year, we actually, I don't think we've ever done a theme overall, but I know this
No.
year we wanted to do one for this season is I am here now. And with this conversation throughout this season, we want to make sure that we are in a space of reflecting on personal growth and what it means to fully live present and in the moment and I think that that is something that is very important right now, just because a lot of things are happening in our lives that are making us either look in our past and look in our future and not always remember to be present and here. So we really want to ground ourselves in that right now and really remind ourselves to stay in that. So I want to know your thoughts too, Derwin, about this theme and about this being the center of our guests and our conversations and our topics and things of that nature.
Yeah, I like it because it reminds us of the responsibility we have to ourselves in this moment, right?
Mm,
Like, that showing up for ourselves today means that we don't lose time. I know
Mm,
that I've lost time living in the future and living in the past or letting the past dictate me. And what it means to be here now for me, at least one of the ways it means, is accounting for those things, but still being intentional about being present. And that can be really hard, I think, when things are as trying as they are right now. There are a lot of things happening in this country, in the US,
yeah,
that can make a person want to escape. But I know that choosing to be present for ourselves and for each other, being here, being whoever we are right now, not anyone that we feel we need to be, should be, or that other people want us to be, but who we are and meeting the moment right now. I am here now is going to be what shapes the kind of future that we want.
yeah.
So that's what it means to me right now.
Yeah, same. I think for me, it's making me be a kind of a constant reminder of not to dwell on something that I'm not in control of or something
Yeah.
that I thought that I was in control of, and now be in this space of gratitude, be in the space of safety and security, be in the space of development, personal growth, and really be proud of who I am today. And not always try to anticipate who I will be in the future. Cause I think for me, that's always been something that I've always been privy to. I've like recently been talking to my therapist about it, and he's definitely labeled me as somebody that is a defensive player in my life. And I'm
Mm,
always like on the defense. I'm always like preparing for something or anticipating something
yeah.
instead of being offensive, which is doing the thing, being active and really, challenging myself and stop living in the, what if and living in the now. So I'm super excited to have this conversation with our listeners, with you and our guests. And I think that's the one thing that like really excites me is like people's perspectives of that.
Yeah, because I'm certain that you're not alone in that. And I am really excited to engage our guests in this topic, seeing what it means to them right now. And if this topic has been on their minds, because I find that we experience things collectively sometimes
Hmm.
that like we all kind of move. We don't exist in what is it, a vacuum, right?
Yeah.
So things that are happening to us are often happening to other people. And I'd like to know how that's showing up in each person's life.
Yeah. I'm really one of people to pause and reflect because I think that we're always in this space of grinding and we're always in a space of like, I gotta go, I gotta go, I gotta grow. Like, girl, let's stop. Let's pause. Let's talk about like the good things. Let's talk about what's happening right now because I think we're always trying to think of what's next. And you do you realize that everybody's always asking like, so what's next for you? What are you going to do
Yeah.
now? And it's like, let's stop asking what's next and like, what's now? Oh, girl, hold on,
Oh,
wait a
you
minute,
ate.
girl. I was, yeah, bitch. No, I was really off the dome, bitch. I was like, hold on, wait a minute. But I think about that because we always ask that question, and I'm always like, okay, so what's next for you? What's your future endeavors? It's like, can I just be happy where I'm at now? Like, shit, but I think it's because we are in a space in life in general, we always have to be chasing the next thing or chasing a dream. So I'm excited about that. But like, girl, what brought you joy this week? Like, let's get into that.
Honestly, I've had simple pleasure of actually, you know what? No, that's not true. I had some pretty cool things happen. I met my favorite performer last week, and that has been bringing me all the joy this
Yes.
week. So I went to Chicago, and Tank from Taking the Bangas was on my flight. And so I met her in Chicago and got to have a nice brief conversation with her. And she followed me on Instagram. And like literally, when I tell you that I've been a really big Tank and the Bangas fan since 2016,
Yeah.
and as an artist, she has really informed the way that I show up in creative spaces. Like
Mm,
the willingness to really put yourself out there, to be silly, to be fun, to let character kind of take over, not just for the sake of entertainment, but also for story, because it
yeah.
moves story, because it
Yeah.
conveys emotion. I credit a lot of the chances I take on stage to how listening to her live performances and watching her perform live, how that has made me feel and how it has
Yeah.
really like challenged me as an artist. So meeting her was the fucking like God, and it is literally I cannot put words to how amazing I felt, and I just want to sing it to the world that I got a chance to, and it has carried with me this week, and has really challenged me to continue doing the thing. So I am going to say it was meeting Tank. Was absolutely it.
Yes! I know when you told me that story, I was like, "Bitch, what are the odds
I
that you"
know.
I'm like, "And you've met, the writer of Girlfriends," which again, that is what you are obsessed
Yes!
with.
Oh, yeah, okay, so let me just say, no, I have to do the praise break right now. God has blessed me. God has blessed me this year that in the most random ways, I have met women that I really truly respect, like Black women who have impacted my life in these profound ways that I
Yeah.
never thought. Meeting Mara Brock Akil was the craziest thing. I'm like, "Oh, that's Mara Brock Akil," and I was like,
Mhm.
"Miss Mara Brock Akil," and she was like, "I like the way you say my name." And I'm
You said it,
like,
girl, you
"Oh,
gotta say Miss Marbarka Kill.
Miss Marbach Akil." And I'm doing my girlfriend's rewatch now. You know, I'm on like rewatch number 52.
Yeah, you're gonna always do that.
Because these things they come up. I'm in my 30s. The girls were in their 30s, their late 20s and early 30s, so it's relevant. No, but I have been blessed, and even through some of the difficulties this year, like I met Tank 5 minutes after a breakup, after the
Yeah,
initiation of a breakup.
yeah.
So the way that God has come through for me is I can't put that into words either, but just know that I am eternally grateful, and I know that Spirit carries me through everything. And I carry so much of my joy in that fact alone. Amen.
Yes, amen. Let the church say amen. So I'm like, girl,
Hallelujah.
hallelujah. I'm like, girl, that part, bitch. That part, bitch. Oh, what has brought me joy?
Yeah, what
Oh
has brought you
well,
joy?
I think community right now. This week I've spent a lot of time connecting with friends and being present in a lot of those relationships. So a lot of y'all don't know this. Well, probably do. My job, I've been in a lot of fluctuation with my job, and I finally got some clarity on some things with my job.
Yeah,
And I ultimately am no longer going to be working there soon. So that is giving me a lot of different emotions that I had in it, some sadness, some disappointment, some release, some liberation. So what I've been doing in this time of my next move and my next step is being connected to my community and finding ways to be in it. So I've been playing volleyball and going traveling a lot with that. I am actually like on these so like leadership for my kickball team. So I've been having a lot of time taken with that. And then also just like really just grab a lunch. So I just grabbed lunch with two of my friends today. And one of them came over and we just like played video games and stuff like that. But really just being intentional with the community in this space right now of a little bit of uncertainty, but like comfortability, because I am not in a way trying to stress about anything because things are okay. But I think right now it's just like that right now, like literally leaning to how I'm going to make this time meaningful and really lean into my community because a lot of people right now are trying to figure out what's next for them. So I'm really excited about
exactly.
that.
Yeah, I wanted to say, like, I know this is a difficult or trying time, challenging time for you,
Yeah.
but I do know that a lot of people are experiencing this as well. So I just love it that your response is to then lean into community. I know we say this a lot in this show. So to know that it's helping is, I think, going to be really inspiring for me to remember to tap back into it. And I hope our listeners too.
Yeah, and I agree. So we're going to talk about that in our next segment and things like a little bit dive into it. But I just wanted to mention that's what's brought, me some joy this week. But
Yeah.
let's go into like, let's catch up, girl. Let's tell our listeners where we've been. Come on?
Yeah, so what did you do over the summer since our last episode in was it January or February? What has life been
February.
like for you?
So I celebrated my 31st in
Yeah, you
March. You know
did.
me, I'm an Aries all day, every day. You all also, I've been getting a lot of tattoos. A lot of my friends have been like gagging about that, but I had three at the beginning of this year. I am now up to 12.
You're what to I didn't even get my words together. You're up to what?
12.
You got 9 I'm not Lord.
Girl, I've been on the table, bitch. That's what I've been telling girls. Bitch has been going to the table. If you follow me on Instagram, I literally have always been posting every other week that I've been at the tattoo shop. And this has been after my birthday. Like after my birthday, I got like my nose pierced before. Somebody's like, "Are you going through like a quarter life crisis?" Like, bitch, what's going on with you? Is it it's not is it quarter? Girl, I don't know.
Well, it would have been 5 years ago, but I mean, maybe
Girl,
you will
quarter life.
be, yeah, third life.
Yeah, third life. But no, I've just been telling people like I've always been planning to get more tattoos. I just have always been afraid of it. I've always been afraid of the pain. I've always been afraid of what my job will look like, and all those things. And then after my birthday, I was like, girl, you just want to do it. And I also like last year, I think I went on a date with a guy and I loved his tattoos, like with his like the aesthetic of it. And I was like, come on, girl, let's just do it. But I've really just been in that space. So I've gotten a lot of tattoos over the past couple of months. And I'm really here for it, bitch. I'm over here like, yes, I'm getting
You've been
more.
getting up underneath that needle. You laying up underneath that
And
needle.
baby, I'm laying on that table. Yes, I've been laying on that knee. And I like the pain. Like, I think that is the thing that I was like, all my family members have tattoos. And I'm getting used to it. It's not like I'm like, girl,
You
like
like pain, you say?
a little bit,
That's your
just
thing? You like to get choked a
little. I
little
like a
bit?
little pain, bitch. I don't,
You could do knife
no.
play?
Girl, no. Bitch, that I am not on that. Girl, now you're doing a lot. I like to me, tattoos are literally feeling like I'm just getting like poked nonstop. Like it's like that. It's not like
Like
I'm over
fucking
here
a
like,
little nigga.
well, girl, what that I don't
Nothing.
no, but I will say it is a burning sensation. Once you are in a tattoo for a while,
Ooh,
it is gonna feel like it's hot, it's heat. So
yeah,
that has
yeah.
been that. Of course, my job fluctuation. I was trying to figure out what's going on with that. Um, I've been really working out, and I think I like seeing people. Like I think, like I said, talking about community and stuff like that, and like finding stability and really leaning into like uncomfortability. Like I've been
Mm.
challenged a lot in my relationships recently, just because of like my proximity to blackness and my proximity to whiteness. Girl, we'll talk about
Speak on
that.
it. Speak on it.
Which I'm gonna just let y'all know I have no proximity to whiteness at all. But just let y'all know that I do not have any proximity,
Oh,
and I am okay with that. Okay, I am
child,
perfectly okay with that.
child.
But I've been having a lot of like, conversations about that. But I think really this time it definitely was reevaluating who Devery is, what I like, and who I want to be. And right now, and being okay with that is really, really what I've been doing these last couple of months and just like loving on me. What about you, sister?
It has been a really busy year for me, and I have grown, or I am growing in these really tremendous ways. I've been actively dating this year, so I've dated 3 men
I have
since
not, y'all.
we
FYI,
last
girl, the girl
wrapped.
has not been dating.
Let
So
me tell y'all something. Your bitch is very new, okay? Because y'all know, the first guy I dated, he brought this, or the second guy I dated brought this up because he had listened to the show. We're on very good terms for the most part. So yeah, like there's no beef there.
yeah,
But he had mentioned he heard me say recently about like having guards, like I got a wall and there are guards manning the wall. I have been actively working on releasing that. And I have said on this show in the past that like I don't have like any exes, but part
yeah,
of I've gotten over myself a little bit, right?
yeah,
Because I realized that me saying that is kind of reestablishing that like there were a lot of boundaries and a lot of resistance between me and those men that I didn't really let them in. But if I actually look at my dating experiences, I actually do have a good number of exes. I even made a chart of them.
not you
So,
made a chart.
oh yeah, honey, I'll
There
show
was
it to you when we offline.
Tisha, Shalonda, Charmaine,
It's
Delisha.
if we it goes back. Nah, it
Baby,
go
I have a
back.
list. Do you have a list of your partners and also the partners that fucked?
There's a chart. No, I didn't put every like sexual partner on there.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to write a book.
Excuse me. Don't clock my
We're
hole
not slim. We're
before
not.
you clock my hole. Measure yours.
It's very tiny. It's very, it's very.
Oh, she says she's very cute, very
She's very,
demure, very
baby,
cutesy, very
baby,
toy.
girl, but I love that for you. I literally love that you've been doing that because I know last time we talked with our listeners, we have always had two opposing sides. And I think that like we have switched now. Like
I
I am
want
in
to
a
be a lover
space
boy.
and
I
I'm like,
want to
no.
be. I want to be. Like I've gone back to therapy because I am not interested in being stuck in the version of me who is I think that's a lot to do with childhood who's
Yeah.
so I guess the word is afraid and really what it is like I'm like people are going to hurt you and so
Yeah.
I'm just trying to protect myself from being too impacted by that but I do at least have faith that I've built a beautiful support system and I
Yeah.
trust myself and that support system to be there for me,
Hmm.
right? So I'm willing to kind of let people in to give them an opportunity to impact me in one way or the other. So I've done
Okay.
a lot of dating and I've learned a lot about that. The most recent breakup has been the hardest for me. Not gonna be like super devastating, but I have some deep emotions about it. And it has left an impact. And I've been working lots of cool things happening at my job. Like I'm leading a new project in a way that I've never done before. So it's
Yeah.
really kind of forcing me to use some new executive skills or some ones that I haven't really worked on in this way. And I can see it kind of bleeding into other parts of my life. Mirror image photo booths is doing really well. And we've been doing lots of cool events. I worked Essence again this year, which is when I met Mara Keel. I saw the show, and something inside of me wants to be this really productive and helpful, resourceful, and reliable man. So I'm challenging, and that the word man is
Right.
so important here. Like
Because when you
I
said
used
man, I
it
said,
in
whoa.
yeah, I'm using that intentionally. I'm in a season in my life of figuring out what man means to me. And actually I know what it means to me, but now I'm
Yeah.
living that, right? And so I'm allowing myself to be in whatever way manhood shows up for me, I'm wearing it. Like I am a man and I am not going to let that be too influenced by what other people's definition of manhood means. And
Mhm.
I think that that's what I'm gonna bring to this season is I mean specifically of That Black Boy Joy, is how my relationship with manhood is transforming my life, and I'm really interested in engaging you on this topic too.
Yeah.
Um, I just it's something about being 30 in my 30s feels like adulthood means a new thing
Yeah.
to me, and so manhood feels like it belongs to me in a way it didn't before. So
Yeah.
that's what the summer has given, lots of renewal, lots of learning, and I've got this picture, and I'm in a museum right now.
Yes.
I am at the Ogden Museum of Southern Art. I have this lovely little diagrammed or, like, thing to show you. So this was all
Yeah.
over when the exhibit opened. This is part of the same photo you see behind me, but the
Wow.
artist Jordan Barnes, he took this and they used it as like the face of the exhibit for a while. I think they just changed it, but it's still there in there. And I'm just so honored. Nothing like this had ever happened to me. And I have to tell you, I worked so hard to make this shoot
That's
happen.
you did,
Like
yeah.
I was in constant communication with the artist, with the photographer, and I really wanted to do this. Like I was like, I need to do a photo shoot for my 30th birthday, and I wanted it to mean something to me. And his vision was this. And
Yeah.
I couldn't have dreamt anything like this, and it is just so affirming that the decisions I've made since I left the DMV have brought me so much abundance and
Yeah.
joy and
Yeah.
community, and it is just oozing out of me all the time. So this summer is a partial culmination of the work that I put in since I moved here to New Orleans, and that's why I feel super blessed.
I love that. I think right now you are in a space that is full of light and positivity, and these opportunities are blatant right now to you, and you are in connection and in community with so many people. And I think it always goes back, like I always say, it's your light that I've always noticed about you. And like I think your light is now being shown or it's being brightened because I've seen you so much in a lot of different spaces after, you come in here, and then I think this year specifically, like your 30s, like have been amazing for you. So I'm living, and I think we're kind of in different spaces. Like you are, you're really, really doing your big one in this space. And right now, I'm not struggling, but I'm finding or reflecting a lot right now. So I love to see you shining and getting your flowers and having these opportunities and I'm right now, like, processing and reflecting because you're always going to go through those yin and yangs, those
Ebbs and
push and
flows.
pulls, ebbs and flows.
Yeah.
So I love that 'cause I think that's great for the show right now too, because we
Thank
have
you for saying
journeys.
that. It's I'm so used to kinda treading water. I think
Yeah.
when I first joined this show, it was during a constant kind of struggle for me, like, I was always kinda trying to swim upstream,
Mm,
and I love Maryland, I really do.
yeah.
I love my home, but there is this dark cloud over who I was and what I was feeling
Mhm.
at that time.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate you saying that you saw a light in me there because I think I was really struggling to see it at that time.
Yeah.
And if I've learned anything, it is that you have to go where it feels right.
Mm,
Like if it isn't working, if your life is feeling like things just aren't working, then that just means it's time to do something different. That
And
means it's time to find curiosity in the unknown.
yeah. And how did you know where was right for you? Because I'm in a space right now where I am continuing that conversation with myself and putting myself in spaces to test it out, to see where I would like to put my energy or time or effort. So when did you know that New Orleans was that space for you at that time?
When I was at my bottom, like my rock bottom in terms of my mental health, and I knew that everything I was deciding up to that point was wrong. Like I
Yeah.
was like, everything that I keep trying to do, that I keep trying to force, obviously this isn't for me. So that's the point of surrender. And it was a lot of prayer. And it's not going to be necessarily prayer for everyone,
Yeah.
especially if you're not the praying type. Like I'm certainly not trying to push prayer on anybody, but prayer looks like something different for each of us. And that kind of meditative practice looks different for us. But I said, I'm going to surrender to the moment, whatever comes to me, because I know I'm not meant to live miserably. Like that can't,
Mm.
we're not. I know
Yeah.
that my life isn't to be me suffering.
Yeah.
So what comes to me is what I will take, because
Mhm.
I know that what comes to me will be for my best interest. And New Orleans
Yeah.
came to me.
Yeah.
My friend said, I've got it too, but like I communicated, you have to be willing, vulnerable to talk about your issues with the people who care about you too. That's the other thing,
Yeah.
because I think spirit sends us the answers to our problems through the people who care about us, who love us. So
Yeah.
when you're vulnerable enough to say, this is what I'm experiencing, I trust you with this problem. A friend was like, we can get a 2 bedroom. My lease is almost up. And I said, I'm going to sit on it for a bit. I'm going to think on it. I'm going to pray on it. And it was like, yeah, go to New Orleans. If you don't like it, you can leave. And I trusted that. I trusted it. I also trusted that that wasn't going to be, if it wasn't going to be me here in New Orleans, that New Orleans was going to take me to where I did belong.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was like, I have to go to New Orleans, even if I don't stay there. It's going to
Mhm.
take me exactly where I am meant to be. And it was just
Wow.
that I was meant to be here.
Yeah. I love that. I think that this is helpful for our listeners too, and even myself right now in this journey of where to next or what like holds us is really being okay with being uncomfortable and literally trying to find that thing that will give you that purpose and that joy again. Because I feel like we're always needing to reset that. I think that
Yeah.
we need to know, as we were when we were younger in our 20s, when we shot the show, and when we now are in our 30s, joy is different now. Identity is different now. Purpose is different
Yeah.
now. So constantly finding those ways to restructure and reshift is okay. And I think we as Black men and just people in general need to be okay with that, because I think we are thinking that we need to be complacent for so long or stay in this place of like sediment. And that's not always okay. Because sometimes there is something that is bigger and better for you, but you have to be okay with stepping out and being uncomfortable. And I think I'm in a space right now of uncomfortability. But like you said, I'm leaning on my community, which is something that I was always afraid to do because I didn't want people to see me in a space of struggle or see me in a space of like doesn't have things planned or prepared.
Yeah.
But it allows me to have those type of things ready and available.
That though is about trusting that the community you've built is the one that's gonna be there for you. Like, imagine how, I
Yeah.
mean, and I remember so much pride in my 20s, and I still have a good amount of it, but so much more pride in my 20s where I would not have been honest or vulnerable about what challenges I was experiencing, and I would have just sat in a dark room by myself and cried it out and tried to figure it out, where now I'm talking to people and allowing their perspectives to inform the solutions that I ponder.
Yeah.
You say that I should try this, and I'm thinking, yeah, you're right. Or allow someone to tell me you're a beautiful person with a beautiful spirit. Like
Yeah.
you are talented, or you have, like, let them pour into you long enough for
Yeah.
you to kind of come out of the darkness and really
Mhm.
have some clear perspective about what's going on.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's all you need.
I agree. I think it's also this moments where you're building and loading up that friend, that relationship that you need in a space, if you get what I'm saying. Like it's like you're building the blocks for those moments when it's like, okay, friend, I need you to tap in. I need to see, our relationship, not test it, but lean into each other because we're not gonna always, you know, have everything together as ourselves, but our community, like I said, our village raises a child or things of that nature. I'm always believing that like there's moments where it shows that relationship. And I think that also has given me a lot of like clarity, and also the way I navigate relationships is seeing who steps in, how people show up. Let me say
Yes,
that. It is these spaces right now allow you to see how the people that you have around you show up for you. And that
that's
gives
right.
you a lot of clarity in where they should be aligned or where should they be placed throughout that time. And I think
That's
that
right.
these are some important moments in our lives because like when you like you're doing a lot of things and you're, reflecting a lot and you're like opening up more and being in a lot. And then how do your friends react to that? Right. And
Yeah,
then me right now, I'm in a space of reflection. I'm in a space of reconsideration and a lot of things. And it's how do your friends show up for you in that way? So it really, I think, is a moment. And I think it also goes into want to transition really quick authenticity and also seeing how you are showing up for yourself and how you are navigating a lot of spaces. So I do want to ask you, going back to like our theme, discuss what it means for you to reconnect to the present version of yourself.
so first was reflection, or first has been reflection, and there's like you're evaluating the state of your relationships, of your perspective to yourself, or I'll personalize this. I am evaluating, my relationship with other people, how I view myself, what's happening in my life, what good things are happening, where am I meeting the challenges, and also thinking about how some of the challenges that I've encountered from the beginning of adulthood to now, what that brought about. So, how trauma shaped these unhealthy versions of me or these unhealthy behaviors. What of those I can unlearn? What have I carried with me to this part that I am proud of? What can I really continue to build on or just allow
Yeah.
to show more often? And how are ways that I censor myself? How are ways that I
Mm,
stop myself from being me? And I've at least learned up to this point that every time that I've been someone other than myself, it has resulted in something kind of negative for me, right? Maybe there was a point at which pretending to be someone else was helpful, but that's when you're kind of trying to survive. I'm here. I've made it to this point. I've passed the 25 mark. And so, um, now I have to live. I have to just like be here until I'm not going to be here anymore. So I want to do that healthily. And I've had to think about all the ways that I've silenced myself, because more often than not, it's not a lie, it's an omission. I
mm,
don't say my truths. I
mm.
don't express myself in moments where no one else will know what's going on with me because they don't read minds, right? And this is a particularly challenging time for me, and I'm not saying this doesn't work for me, this isn't helpful. So authenticity is now just giving voice to the quiet parts of me,
Mm.
being open to hearing someone kind of like reject it or say, hey, you could have said this better, right? And engaging in dialogue around that. But I'm so used to being told that the way I'm saying things is wrong or like coming
Yes.
off the wrong way or what have you, that I'm just willing to have those friction, like to have that friction moment and say, sure, I'll think about doing this a little differently this time, but I'm not going to change who I am. I'm not a
Yeah.
nasty person.
Yeah.
Do I have the capacity to be nasty? Sure, I can be
Baby,
a
so
nasty
nasty and so
bitch.
rude.
I could so
Okay.
nasty and
So
so rude.
nasty and so
As
rude.
as anyone else can, I can too. I am not a perfect individual. I can be a stone cold bitch. And if you pull it out of me, that's exactly what I'm going to be. But at the root of it, I am a kind person who wishes
Yeah.
people well, who wants the best for people. And so if I say something in the spirit of care and it's not received well, I'm willing to go through the conflict to find clarity versus immediately changing how I'm going to say something or not saying something that could actually be productive in the fear of conflict. I've learned that conflict is inevitable,
Yeah.
but it doesn't have to be a war.
Yeah, I will say first, I wanna give you kudos because I literally am doing that right now, and I wanna feed back into that as well, but I do wanna ask, you talked about earlier about your relationship with the word man or, like, manhood. Is that something that's, like in this type of realm, or like is that in a different way? We'll come back to it.
Yeah. And I know we're gonna really talk about this in depth at some point in the
Yeah.
future, but like I am a person who has been very not gender non-conforming throughout his
Hmm.
life. Like I have worn makeup, I am relatively feminine at times, but my gender expression fluctuates. And I always thought that just meant I wasn't a man. And also what I've been told men do like and how they maneuver with each other and with women, I was like, that's not me.
Yeah.
But like, I'm in a fucking run club with a lot of men
Come
and,
on, baby.
women as well. But like, these people are like my brothers. And, I lived with men and I'm seeing that I have the capacity to show up in ways that I see myself in them and I see them
Yeah.
in me. And even
Yeah.
like I'm able to have platonic relationships with these men. It doesn't
Yeah.
have to all be, I don't know, it's something about being a gay man that like people really tell you you're not a man. Like by being gay
That
by
is
definition, you're not one, right? So I've never felt like I had access to manhood. And now I
same.
do. And I'm like, yeah, like this is what a man means to me. Like this is
Yeah.
what it means to be a man. Like I'm telling you right now, I'm a fucking man. That's what I am. And maybe this like fitness journey and my body
Yeah.
becoming, because I'm not on steroids, like I
Bitch,
am
you okay?
I'm physically active and this is what my body is becoming. And I look at it and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
man.
You are starting to have that masculine physique. You're starting to have these features that are more leaning to masculinity. And I think you've identified in this kind of fluidity or even this non-binary esque type of space before, because I feel like you've never wanted to feel like you were this or that. You've wanted to be able to identify yourself. And I totally agree with that. I think that is something that I've always struggled with is the word man and manhood. I've always felt like I was never allowed to be a part of it, even though I
Yes.
am a man and I am gay. And it was something that I've always had this tough relationship with men because of that. And I think even in this type of space right now, reconnecting with myself, I've also been challenging myself to be in more spaces with masculine men or masculine presenting and more so straight men as well. Which there
Yeah.
was one time I was in a space with predominantly straight men, and I went to the car and cried afterwards. It was exhausting for me, and it was because I was working a muscle I hadn't worked in a while. It was me working a muscle of not feeling though I am so gay that they can see it on my face, or they can
Oh,
see it on my shirt, or they can see that I am not like them. And it was a space because I had not I've avoided it like that. I've always avoided it because I was always afraid of those type of things. But I think now I've been in a space of being okay with my manhood and my masculinity looks like now, and
yeah.
being okay with saying like I am allowed to be in this space. I can be in this space and I can hold space in it. And I think that is something that I'm reconnecting with right now. But I want to pick
As
that.
yourself though. Like and yeah, we're not like those niggas because, like I suck dick. So and I don't know, they may or may not. I don't
I don't
know.
do
None
that.
of
I
my
don't do
business.
that. I don't do
I do.
that.
And it they may or may not, I don't know, really
Yeah.
none of my business, but I'm not like those niggas in a lot of ways, but then in some other ways I am, like, and I'm
Yeah.
allowed to be. And like and when I really opened my eyes to who these men are and how they show up, it had actually become clear to me that who people told me men were as a
Yeah.
child is not actually how I see most of the men around. None
Yeah.
of them are like these super hyper masculine, like rigid. Sure, they're policing themselves quite
Yeah.
often, and other people are policing them too. But like their
Yeah.
masculinity doesn't all look uniform either.
Yeah.
There are not too many men that I'm like, oh yeah, he's like that's like a super macho man, and so is
Yeah.
this one. And I'm in a run club with all these buff men, and their gender expression is
Man.
pretty varied as well.
I've girl, we both run cup bitches now. We run cup daddies.
Yeah.
I went to go find me a man, and that's the only reason I joined. I said, "Fuck my body." I said,
I
"Baby, I
went
want to
to
find me a
run and
man."
I was uninterested in talking to any of the people in the
Exactly.
run club, but I love them. That is actually my
Yeah.
community. I really do love them so much.
I need to go back. They've been one of some people. One guy. Let me not say people, bitch. One guy, and then my friends. Let me not lie. One guy that I'm like cool with, and my actual friends are like, we need to go back to run club. And you know me, bitch. I play every sport in the book right now, so I was like, I can do it, but I just hate running. But I do like the community with men that I was able to
Yes.
cultivate because I didn't feel like I was out of the bunch. I didn't feel like I was out of the loop. I was one of the guys. I love running. I was a runner. Well, I can run. I hate running, but I can run. But it made me feel like I could be a part. And I wouldn't say it was like I was hiding my identity because it never was that. It just my identity wasn't at the forefront. And I think that was the thing. I didn't feel like I was one of the guys, not I was one of the
Yes.
I was gay and I was one of the guys. You know what I'm trying to say? Like I didn't feel.
Absolutely. Absolutely do.
Mhm.
We have a right to community. That is a
Yeah.
part of our overall health is access to it.
Yeah.
And we as black boys and black men, we deserve brotherhood. We deserve that.
Mm.
And obviously we don't want to be in community with people who don't think we should be there.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is we are able to sustain relationships with men who are not gay. Like
Yeah.
there are so many men in the run club who are so kind to me.
Mm.
And I don't know, it's just like having had the exact opposite experience of that in my early like formative years, I don't understand why it happens that way. Why so many of us have these traumatic ass experiences early in our lives. And so we think that it's not possible for us, yet somehow we're here in 2025.
Yeah.
And I'm hearing you say that you've been able to foster relationships with other black men
Mhm.
who aren't
Yeah.
necessarily gay. And I know that
Yeah.
I have. And I never thought that that was going to happen. I never thought that was going to happen. But we deserve that.
Yeah. I wanna say I think that goes back into when we were younger, right? Authenticity, who we are, our identity. We really were raising and molding that right now at that point, right? So we're in our 30s and getting to where we are in 2025 as well. I think we are now able to stand in the identity that we have cultivated. I've talked to my therapist about this before, and we are always in this conversation. He was like, Devery, you have the foundation. You're not about to do a 180 with your identity. You're not about to go
Yeah.
because I told him, I said, I'm afraid that I'll have to go back into this cocoon and start to hibernate and rewrite this structure of Devery. He was like, bitch, Devery is the foundation of Devery is here. You have it. You're not about to do a 180. You might have some tweaks and you might have some, little slight adjustments, but the overarching you've established. So I think that's probably why in these spaces going to that authenticity and being authentic with men now, we are able to stand and be strong and confident and not feel we are not allowed or welcomed. Because we know that about ourselves. We know we can take
Yeah.
these spaces up and we are able to hang with straight men or gay men or women, and we just know how to do that now. So I think it's
Yeah.
something that we're doing.
I'm thinking too now that like all of those difficult experiences were new at that
Yes,
time. They
yes.
were that those were the first times. Like when I think about like anti-gay slurs and
Yeah.
how like people would say I thought about it the other day, like someone could ride down the street, call me a faggot, and I would be like like whatever, like fuck you. Whereas when I was 18 and it happened to me, it
Yes, girl.
devastated
It's like
me.
they
I was
clocked
like
me.
in the bed crying like, oh my god, that is so
Yeah,
like, but when you've actually experienced that and you've experienced the worst of it in that way, it loses
yeah,
its power. So
yeah,
I guess I hadn't considered that. Like I'm stronger now. These things
yeah.
aren't new. Nothing is new under the sun.
That it is not, and I wanna say that's what's helped me reconnect with my present because I have had to really go back to the identity that I've cultivated and talk about it with my therapist a lot and talk about who I am now and where you're at. What are some things that you are able to be in control of? Who have you been able to like, starting this podcast, being able to move out here on your own and be out here for damn near 10 years, cultivating all these relationships, being able to navigate your professional life and your personal life and really create this well-rounded individual and really be proud of that. I think that's something I've always had to it's the affirmations, but also just name the things. Like I have been able to do it, in the space of with my job, having a shift or a change in that. Uncertain about that. Talking about what would I have to take a pay cut or what would I go back to being um, in more of a administrative part, it's like, you know your worth, right? You now have to go back into naming the things and not thinking about, am I going to not have a job in 6 months? It's like, but you have a job now, you have stability. So it's really looking at the foundation and the mold of who I am and going to the drawing board. I think I keep doing that a lot is looking at Devery, you good girl. Like you have this, you have that, you have community, you have created stuff and it's been flourishing. So why think that you can't fit in? or not fit in, sorry. Why don't you feel like you don't deserve to be in this place? And why don't
Yeah.
you feel like that? And it's because it was me not thinking I could, but now I can and being present in that. So I was like, girl, we deserve to be with the straights.
With whomever
I'm
makes
just
us
playing. No.
feel like
Yeah.
seen, whoever
Yeah.
like because there are particular experiences we have as Black men. And sure, some of our experiences are different because we're queer. But
Yeah.
the world still sees us like the same. Like the world isn't just looking at us and be like, well, that's gay. That's a gay
Yeah.
Black one. So unless we're performing for safety,
Baby,
right?
girl,
Like
some people do act like that. That's a gay Black one
I
right
know,
there.
I
That's a
know.
punk. That's a punk.
But like at the end of the day, when it comes down to the kinds of experiences that have make what it means to be a Black man, to be perceived as a Black
Yeah.
man, though we have similar
Yeah.
experiences. And I think it's important for me at this point because so much of what I'm focused on from this point for the rest of my life, I know I've said this a lot and I have to say it again because I know a lot of people have been to this point before, but like I know that I'm not going to take myself out of this life. Like I'm not going to remove myself from this life, right? So who
Okay.
knows how long I'm going to be here? I might be
Wow.
here until I'm 95 years old. I want to be healthy when I get there. And
Yeah.
30 feels like such a great time to get in control of that because one thing
Oof.
that is true is that from this point like forward, our bodies like kind of decay. Like
Yeah.
they peak and then they go down, right? I mean, it's just the truth.
It's
Like
like,
for
girl, here she go with her dark shit. Here she go.
I'm just
And
telling
then
y'all, I'm just saying
here we go. In a couple
like
of years, we'll all be dead.
I don't want to speed up the process. I'm not trying to speed up the process.
I
And
love
part
no.
of that health, it isn't just me like physically taking care of my body, eating well, drinking water. It's also like, how do I show up for myself mentally? How do
Mm,
I make sure that I am mentally and spiritually well? And authenticity is the key to that. I think
yeah.
being true to myself. And like, obviously, if who you are authentically is an ain't shit ass motherfucker, like you are really, like you a real piece of shit, then you need to go and see someone.
Yeah.
And that's part of taking care of yourself too, right? Because if who you are can't foster community, then
Yes.
we might need to figure out where the breakdown is there.
But
But
that
trust and
comes
believe.
But that also comes with reflection and also knowing who you are and letting go of old shit. I think sometimes we don't remember that we need to let go of stuff at a certain point of our lives. I will
All
name, bitch,
right.
I'm a hoarder. Okay. I will, in my personal life,
Are you an
bitch,
emotional
there's,
hoarder?
huh?
Emotional hoarder?
That and physically, girl. I was talking about
Yeah,
physically.
I didn't know that. Okay, okay.
Baby, I had to literally get rid of shit because I was moving. Other than that, I probably would have said she had shit in here from high school. I think it's because I have like, I always say I am afraid of change. I am always afraid of change because I'm afraid of the uncertainty that comes with that, with me unlocking an emotion that I felt like I had not unlocked before. You ever know when you're like progressing in like video games, me and my video game life, you're unlocking, you're getting new abilities, you're getting new skills. I was afraid of the emotions or being well rounded emotionally because I did not know if I had the capacity to manage it. And that's what my therapist was saying is you have the tools. Like you won't, you're not able to go into a psychotic break right now, Devery. Like you
Mm,
know with these things. So that is what it is, was afraid of putting yourself, like I said, make yourself uncomfortable because you're not aware if you can handle it. And I think that was something a lot of us need to recognize. And even people that are like bad in their ideas or thoughts or need to reflect is like, try this out, see how you respond to it, see how you feel, because that is going to be the way that we need to be progressing as we get older. I do not want to still be the 25-year-old Devery at 35. I don't.
come on.
And I
Because
think
you've
people
learned so
in
much
life,
since then.
yes, like I don't need to be doing 25-year-old shit at 35. Like me personally, if I'm reflecting, if I'm taking the time in, if I'm letting go of things, if I am processing things and filtering it out, I shouldn't be revisiting antics that I've done before unless I need to like really evaluate it again. Like, what's
Yeah.
that? Or have I properly healed from it? Um, and I want to know how you feel about that too. Like, I know immediately that is something that I grappled with, is that fear of the unknown, but knowing I've done it before.
I was just saying to someone the other day that I am excited about surprises in a way that I wasn't even just a year ago. Like I
Hmm.
want something to surprise me because I actually do believe that I have the capacity to meet the moment. That's
Yeah.
part of what, like I said, I am here now means to me is meeting the moment. I
Yeah.
cannot control everything, and
Oof.
I
Yeah.
am historically assuming the worst will happen so that I can be prepared for it. And I have lived through so much anxiety because of that, just this very
Yeah.
quiet anxiety, just holding tension in my body. But again, we're in one of the most challenging times of our lifetime right now.
Yeah.
Like there are so many scary things happening. And
Mhm.
it is, I have no reason to believe that that is going to improve anytime soon.
Yeah.
And so I can expect a number of difficult surprises. And instead of kind of bracing myself for it, I have faith that I'll be able to meet it and not alone because that's not the expectation,
Yeah.
but that
No.
me, along with the community I've built, we will meet the moment.
Mhm.
I see it in little things that are happening in my life, little projects, little, and
Yeah.
the pieces are coming together. Collaboration means that like I don't have to be micromanaging every little thing in my life the way that I, always thought I had to, which is exhausting. It is
Yes.
exhausting and would make me averse to doing the work. Now
Yeah.
I actually trust that we're all going to show up
Mhm.
and do the things because I know I
Yeah.
am. So I
Yeah.
trust that somebody else will too.
Yeah, I think it's when you are in a constant space of self-correction and a constant space of anticipation, you're constantly going to be in a space of not being present. You're gonna always be in a space of what's next? What's I gotta think about the future. I gotta think about what to do now instead of being able to look at what you have now instead of like, what do I need to do next? So I totally agree with you because I think that was something I've struggled with. And I've named it in a lot of spaces now is I need to stop. And I love that we're talking about this right now because I know the whole season we're going to be revisiting a lot of these conversations throughout it. So I'm really, really excited. But I
Me
am
too.
learning that I need to stop and I need to work on that mindset of being defensive or mindset of anticipating. Or like I am now telling people I like surprises. Baby, I used to tell people I don't like surprises because I don't
Me
know how I'm
neither.
gonna I used to be like, bitch, I don't know how I'm gonna respond to that surprise because I don't know if I'm gonna break down and emotionally cry because I'm getting the thing that I need, which is being nurtured or being loved. I said that to people. I was like, I don't want to show my emotions because I feel like they're not going to be stable. Like, if I dated somebody and they treated me the right way,
Ciao.
would I be able to respond in a healthy manner? Or would I respond in a space of uncertainty because I didn't feel like I had it before? So those are some revelations that I'm feeling and I'm happily able to go through on this journey with everybody, with you and all of that. So I was just like, girl, I was like, why now? And I also was thinking, I was like, why now? And it's because now I'm being faced with uncertainty and I have to be okay with that because of my job. I am now
Yeah.
faced with it, and I now have to be present and active and use those muscles that I've worked and I've perfected
Yes.
to now stand in it and be solid.
Loved that. Let me ask you, as we begin to close, what are you most proud of in your personal journey right now?
I think the thing that I'm most proud of is the way that I've been able to really hone in on the development of myself and the real work that I've been putting into unmolding and I want to say like letting myself actually be a butterfly instead of a caterpillar in my cocoon. I think that I've been in a space, even this year specifically, with me getting these tattoos, with me getting those piercing, with me showing up in a lot of more spaces, healthy, happily glowing, even though I'm in a space of uncertainty. It's really a moment that I'm like loving about myself and then also like seeing my community around me like really champion me and really be like, this is what I've cultivated and this is how I've shown up for people. And now people are wanting to do the same thing for me. So it's really exciting to be like, Deborah, you had that in there. You low key are a psychologist, even though I don't have a degree in it, baby. I am always great at listening. Even with this podcast, like I'm great at listening with the understanding, with the intent to understand and not to respond. And I feel like that has been able to take me into so many spaces because I know that I am someone that is always genuinely wanting to give others the space to shine even when I don't feel like I don't do it, but I'm now learning to shine at the same time as I'm giving others and not feeling like I need to dim my light. So I think that's what I've like been learning. It was not the question, but baby, I just was like, I think that was. What did
Yeah,
you ask
you're
me again?
answering it that you're proudest,
Yeah.
you're the most most proud of in your personal journey right now?
Yeah, see, I need to also working on not being uncertain with what I'm doing, okay? That's what I need to start working on.
Yeah,
But,
yeah, I'm about to say
yeah, I
we
think it's
could it.
yeah, I just like I'm happy with that. I think I'm happy with being able to pause and say, "You've done a great thing with yourself, Devery. You've created this human." And that's what I wanna say. I've created a
Aw,
human with emotions, with empathy, with feelings, and an an identity that I can relate to and I can identify with, and our listeners can too. So I think that's what I've been because I know back when I started the show, it was timid. I was meek. I was like, girl, I need to do this for others. And I didn't realize I needed to do it for myself. Even though I said it was for me, I
yeah.
wasn't doing the things. So I want to flip the question on you, sister. What's going let's do it.
I feel like what I mean, not everybody's gonna like this analogy,
Hmm.
but growth for me has been like a brick wall,
Mm,
really tall. And you could either, look at it and be like, oh God, that's a lot of work to try to get over or around or through. I'm gonna stay right here. And in the last however many years, I've seen those growth walls and I have slowly kind of chipped away at them
yeah.
or decided to figure out how to climb them, or I'm doing the work to get over them. Like I
Yeah.
identify this is an area in which I need to grow.
Yeah.
And without putting too much pressure on myself, at least as of late, I've just been like, I'm going to slowly and methodically grow in this way.
Yeah.
And I know that this is going to be the rest of my life because I know if we're not growing, we're probably dead or we're stagnant.
Yeah.
But like, that's, I'm going to keep meeting those moments. And I'm at least when I'm too afraid to do it on my own, am really proud that there are people in my life who will be honest with me to kind of get me over there on the other side. Damn,
Mhm.
I did not think I was going to cry this episode.
Oh.
But like I I am so grateful that the relationships I have are going to continue to have me accountable in that way. There was a time when that was my prayer. I
Mm.
don't know what it was that I thought I was going to be, but I just wanted to know that I would have people who were going to keep me grounded and who were just gonna let me be a ain't shit ass motherfucker. Like that's real, you know? Like I never wanted to be this monster in the world,
Yeah.
but I trust and know that the relationships I've built are so pure and so real that they would be mirrors to me and they would not let me stay stuck. They
Absolutely.
wouldn't let me be in front of that brick wall and just sit there and ball up, right? Like they're
Yeah.
going to make sure that I get to the other side. So I'm so proud that not only that I have this innate desire to grow in that way, but that I have even fostered relationships with people who are going to make sure that I do as well.
I love that,
Wow.
sister. And I'm giving you a big hug. I'm giving you a big sisterly hug because I love that you are now being able to reflect on that. Or not saying that's something that you're knowing and you're seeing and you are wanting in this type of space. I'm so happy for you, sister, because I see so many things happening for you right now. And because you are allowing yourself to not just sit at that brick wall, you're no longer doing that. And I'm just so proud of you. And I know
Thank
our
you.
listeners are, and I know the journey you are on is going to be one for the books. So I love you. And I'm just really excited.
You too. Thank you.
God, sister. As we close out, we do want to encourage our listeners to reflect on this quote and not this quote, but this question. What in your life can you return? Where in your life can you return to your most authentic self? We want our listeners and we want our viewers to really listen to that and really process that because I think that that will allow you to figure out the next thing or the thing that's present. Let's not say the next thing, but the thing that's going to keep you present in yourself on that journey. So I'm super excited. But we have to wrap up the show, but I want people to follow you or continue the conversation with you, sister. So where can everybody follow you at right now, girlie?
You all know that you can follow me on Instagram and Threads, which is still going pretty well for me, by the way.
Surprised.
at Derwin King. That's DerwinKing. And I'm on TikTok. I'm on there. I'm using it a lot
Bitch.
more now. I have been really resistant to that app, but I'm trying
Yeah.
to challenge myself in many
Yeah.
ways. So I am
Yeah.
on there at you can find it by searching Derwin King, but the tag is actually Free Negro, the way it used to be on Twitter.
Yay!
FREENEGREAUX.
Oh my God, sister. Okay, anyway, so don't wait. As you all know, you can all follow me on all social platforms at underscore Lord Every. That is underscore LORDEVERY. And I am extremely active on TikTok now, thanks to Love Island, Big
And Big Brother
Brother,
Child.
all these
Yeah.
reality shows I am fixated with. And I've made quite a good following and liking on TikTok. So if you all want to continue with the conversation with me on those things, follow me on TikTok. But if you all would like to continue the conversation with the pod, you can hit us up on Instagram at That Black Boy Joy Pod, on Twitter at That Black Boy Joy. And you can also hit us up at our Gmail if you would like to write in or be a guest or have any conversations brought up on the show at That Black Boy Joy Podcast at gmail.com. We always want to make sure that you all follow us, like, subscribe, watch our videos. We put a lot of work and effort into it. And please share with other people because we definitely want to make this podcast as big as it can be.
Before we go, can I make a shout
Yes.
out?
Yes.
I want to shout out Michael from Chicago. I hope you're listening to this. You really made my night. Y'all know I was performing there for Cage Birds. We did When Boys Exhale in Chicago, and I met Michael, and he is a fan of the show, and really lit a fire up under my ass to get here and do this with you, sister, because he was like, I'm ready for the
Michael!
next one. So shout out to you, Michael. Much love to you.
Baby, we was coming back, but yes, Michael, shout out to you because
I did
we
tell him
love
that we
that.
were already on it, but I
We
was
were
like,
already
oh,
coming
baby,
back,
let's
bitch.
get back.
We were not coming back, girl. We were ready. We just needed to take some time. But no, shout out to Michael. And shout out to everybody. People have been reaching out to me. People have been talking to me about it. And the work that we've been doing has not gone unnoticed and unknown. And we've been doing it since 2019, but the work doesn't stop. So we just want you all to spread the word as we evolve and as the show grows. So thank you. But we do have to wrap up because, girl, we have to get back to our daily lives. Like I always say at the end of our show, please be so in love with who you are.